Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our first Parent Town Hall hosted here at Murrell Dobbins High School. We are having this Parent Town Hall because we do understand that education for young people equates to survival and social and economic identity. Thus, we are attempting to give them a quality one. However, there are some barriers that are not allowing us to give them a quality education. We first and foremost do want to acknowledge that we do see the presence of parents' educational advocacy and their partnership. But however, parents and school partnership must be strengthened. It starts first by acknowledging that both entities, both the school as well as parents, or the role as parents, must focus on student development together. We're not opposing one another, we're not in competition with one another. We definitely have to work together. And along as with our community leaders. So, I would like to let you know that our stance here at Dobbins is to allow our students to get the most advantage of all of the opportunities that we have here. I myself sat in this very same seat, studied cosmetology, graduated as a professional cosmetologist, earned a full ride at the university main campus of Pennsylvania State University, was able to be an entrepreneur, was able to start my teaching career at a young age, and now can say I'm a very proud principal of Murrell Dobbins High School. That is what Dobbins has done for me. But understanding where our generation is at today and the lack of focus or the distractions that they are currently facing, we need to redirect their lens back to accepting what advantages opportunities are. But we need to figure this out together because no one had lived through this present time as we are today. Therefore, we have community members invited that will help us, the school and the parents, to help us navigate through the answers that we do not have. To help us navigate through experience that we have yet to experience today. So as I stand here, even though educated, even though as a leader, I must be vulnerable and transparent to say that I do not have all of the answers. And I must be transparent and vulnerable and say that I do not need parents to partner with me. I must say that parents and school together, we do not know everything, and that we need the community to be with us through this time. Because our young people, identity revolves around education and advance. And we are charged to give them a quality. So at this time, we're going to partner with our community leader, Ms. Dillsworth. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes. I'm going to take my mask off. All right, thank you, Principal Thompson. First, I want to thank our partners for cooperating and helping us bring this all together. So we have GPHIDS, EMOC, Major Meals of Color, Mothers in Charge, Philadelphia Systems of Care, RHD, and Healthy Philly Minds. So as we continue to build the students and the families, Dobbins wants to connect families to resources and equip them through trials of life. So basically what we need to do together is to be able to bring the community resources to Dobbins. No, I'm sorry. Go back. So my name is Dominique Dillard. I'm part of the Community Wellness Engagement Unit. I'm a behavioral health specialist. And what the Community Wellness Engagement Unit does is that we go out into community and connect them to resources. So I'm going to move forward and introducing our panel. So the first person I will introduce will be Benita Tillman.
Cousin, y'all hear me? How you doing? I'm here with the DHIS, the system of care, Philadelphia system of care. I was asked to come today to talk about parenting cases. So, I think about a year and a half ago, I was invited to come to a parenting class, which was for Dobbins parents, and Dobbins parents didn't show up. So it was open to the public. And while we took this class, they gave us the opportunity to ask us, what did we want to learn? And they did that by having focus groups. And he told them, we didn't want to learn what's going to happen in your book. We want to learn how to navigate what's going on. Dealing with our children during COVID, being home with our kids, people losing their jobs, people can't pay their rent, and you know, on and on and on. So, because we told the teacher they went to my boss, who was my boss, and with my second guy, Brenda, and told them what we said, and they did these focus groups. Out of the focus groups, what they did was they restricted the parenting classes and tried to make it where as though everyone, children would want to be on, to educate us on how to deal with COVID, the violence, raising kids doing this, and dealing with our kids and helping our children. The best thing about a parenting class is not about going there and you sitting there and somebody just teaching you and they reading out a book. It's the people that's around you. We all teach each other, we learn from each other. You know, I never liked the parenting class, so I attended my first one. Because I always thought, there's something wrong with you to go to a parenting class. You did something bad, you gotta go there to get your kids back. But when I went to my first one, I found out that wasn't the case. I met people, I learned how to be a better parent and how to do things a little bit different. But I had a village, so my classmates was my village. Everybody here, we all a village. Because I don't know everything. She might know something I don't know. I might know something she don't know. And in the class, we learn from each other. So in Black Women Alliance, they revamped the class. Do they follow their curriculum? Yes. But they revamped it to where us as parents can relate and we can think of ways to deal with the situation that we're dealing with during the time that we're dealing with. Like COVID, the kids, the transportation with the school, we know they're short of staff, we know they're short of school buses, we know they're short of teachers and all kinds of things. So we not only just talk about how to parent, but we also try to solve these issues out because we work together to deal with these issues and help each other out. The best part about it is that be as though we are village, so they say take a child and raise a village, it's the same thing with a parent. So if I have an issue, I know there's not people over here at Dobbins, I'm having an issue, you know, as a parent, I'm like, okay, well, let me call this Dobbins because I don't know what's going on in the school district. And she might be able to help me. It's the same thing, and we use each other as resources. That's the best thing about having a parenting class. So it's not all bad, it's beneficial. Yeah, some people come here and they have to get their kids back. Some people be in programs so they can get out of their programs. I think the best benefit out of parenting classes is the education that we need to teach each other, trying to help each other through this time. The principal said it earlier, we've never dealt with this before. But if we put our minds together and we work together, we can get through this together. It's not easy. And I kind of feel guilty sitting up here saying what I'm saying to y'all right now because I was a teacher and I quit on the first day of school. And I still have teacher friends that I talk to every day and they say I'm a teacher and a lunch lead because they've been dedicated. And I feel guilty. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to do my part in this way. So yes, as a parent, we have to work with the school. We gotta work with the teachers. We gotta work with the principal. We gotta work with the staff. Come up with ways that we can work this out. Though we never experienced this, but if it happens again, we'd be better off next time. But we gotta communicate. We gotta come out to events like this. You know, We gotta work together, and that's the only way we're gonna do this. And I learned a lot of this stuff from pyramid class. You know, I call this person, call that person. Hopefully everybody out here, all my brothers too, I can get y'all cards, I'll see y'all later. We all help each other get through this, especially help our kids, because they the next generation behind us. They coming up, they gonna be the next principals and the next teachers and the next plumbers. I went here earlier with a workshop and the kids are doing great. But we're not gonna have those people, we're not gonna have those kids, we can't help them. And we can't help the parents to help the parents, to help the children. Because the family is struggling. We can't help the kids without helping the whole family. We can't help the parents without helping the children. It's a family struggle. So with the parent cases, back to what I was saying, we was talking about the district last week. We started talking about transportation, and she was giving us information. I said, I was in a meeting, and they said this, and somebody told me something that I didn't know, you know, and that's how it works. Last week, this Monday, yesterday, this week, we talked about communication. We started off talking about communication, but it always goes to something else that we learn, and we teach each other how to help each other. We teach each other about the resources out here, after school programs, help the kids get back up on these reading levels, get them where they need to be, to test them, but we gotta work together. And the parenting class is a great start to come. If you don't come for just to get the education, come to meet the people. Come to meet who's here. Let's see what resources you can get to help your family, get next door neighbor. So, again, Black Women Alliance, we have parenting classes. Like I said, originally it started off with Dobbins parents. They opened it up to the public. So if y'all want to have parenting classes again just for y'all families, we can do that. If y'all want to have it just with the whole community, we can do that too. But just come out, get educated, meet some people, find out resources. We all here to help each other. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
So next, I'd like to introduce Stephanie Mobley from Mothers in Charge.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephanie Mobley, and unfortunately I am a member of Mothers in Charge. Mothers in Charge is a prevention, intervention, education group, but also we are mothers that lost kids to gun violence. I will share a little bit of my story, but I will get into why it's important for us to all be here. My son was a graduate from Dobbins High School, and he got murdered right outside. March 13, 2007, he graduated 06. A classmate shot him in the head 8 times. My only child. Boy, did I lose my mind. I lost my mind. Didn't know what to do, didn't know how to handle it. And I called him God. And he helped me through it. I heard about this organization called Mothers in Charge. And Mothers in Charge, again, like I said, is a bunch of mothers that lost kids to gun violence. No, I did not want to go there. No, I did not. But that was one of the best things that ever happened to me. Because it was a bunch of mothers that was going through the same pain. And as they was going through the pain, they must give me the pain that I was going through. But it took me a whole long time to do it. But after I got there and I stuck and I stayed and I cried and I cried and didn't want to get out of bed, didn't want to live no more, I said, I gotta get up and live. Because if anyone knows, losing a child is not something that I wish upon the perpetrator that murdered my son. I wish there were no one. You will never, ever, ever be the same when you lose a child. But what we can do is do what I'm doing now. Sitting up here talking about it. Mothers come out and people think that we can't live again. But what we need to do, first of all, I see parents, students in here, and I see a bunch of young men. I see men, young men, that I see here that is sitting here wondering that, have you ever lost a friend to gun violence? Yes. And what do you do with that pain? Pardon me? Bottle it up. So we walk around angry. When you walk around angry, you want to hurt someone else, because hurt people hurt people. And when people hurt people, they will go to do anything necessary to hurt another one, because I always want to do it. But I thought about what I was going to do, so that's why I joined this organization. Mothers in Charge is an organization for everyone. It's for grandmothers, aunts, sisters, brothers, even the men need to come out. Because again, what do we do with that pain? We bottle it up. And if we don't have a program, like we are sitting up here now, where would we go? I would have had nowhere to go. I thought it was only me that lost a child to gun violence. But it's not. Right now, there's 555 murders in the city of Philadelphia. 555 mothers that's going through a pain that they'll never see their child again because of one person made a wrong decision. Because I stepped on your toe. So it's very important that we talk about it. Talk to our kids. Go in their rooms. Look under their beds. Check their drawers. Sit down and have a conversation with them. Because if my son would have came home and he looked strange, I would have asked him, how you doing today? How you doing today? We don't do the things anymore. We go in the house, we go in the kitchen, we go in our room, we get our phones, and that's it. No one wants to share about, man, my son got hurt, my friend got hurt yesterday, Mom. So if nobody asks him, he's not going to share. So we have groups that you can come to. It's called Carson Valley, a mentor group for men that you can come to, and everything that you talk about stays there. Because we all get together, come out. We should have more people here. We should have more people here. Until it happens to you, you really won't understand the pain that somebody else is going through. And not even that. We are in prisons. We are in schools. This is one of our schools that we come over on a regular basis, our partners, that we come over on a regular basis and mentor the young ladies. Danielle and I used to come over before COVID, and we mentored the ladies up in cosmetology for 6 weeks. And I really would explain to you, to tell you what they really got something out of the program. If you want to get involved, you can just get involved and say, hey, where's the group that I can come to? Here's one right here, Mothers in Charge. For your information that you need to get in contact with us, we're on the website. We just don't sit around and cry. We have Christmas parties. We have bowling parties. For this year with COVID, we're not doing too much of anything because of the COVID. But we are trying to get back into Dobbins over here now to mentor the young ladies again for a 10-week program. So if I have any suggestions that you can do, take a pamphlet, give it to your mother, give it to a friend, and share. Thank you.
Next will be Gabriel Bryant from Engaging Males of Color.
Good afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon. First of all, before I say anything, before we started, I send my condolences. I know that pain never ceases to end. The trauma of it all, and so we give, light and love to all, mothers and guardians and fathers and grandddads and whoever else, whoever had to take care of a child that was taken from us all as a community. As was mentioned, I lead an initiative called Engaging Males of Color for the Department of Behavioral Health. And our initiative is designed to promote mental health and wellness for our men and boys in the city. And I think it's important why we're here today because the reason why this initiative was first developed was because we understood that there are so many men and boys in our city who are dealing with so many traumas and frankly don't know how to cope with those traumas. We just heard just now as our panelists asked the question, how do you deal? You know, I'm still dealing with the murder of my cousin who was killed in 1994. That's over 25, going on 30 years ago. But as a man living in the city of Philadelphia and living in this country, that pain never ceases to still be there. And that was in the mid-90s. And so when it comes to figuring out ways that we can persevere as a community, one is this, right? Being able to say to ourselves, we're going to sacrifice whatever I'm doing at 1 p.m. on a Thursday. I want to be at Dobbins in the auditorium to figure out what we can do as a community. That's one of the first steps. And it's a very important step that shouldn't be glossed over. Having an open space to share and give out our grievances in a safe way, right? To people who also care about the issue, that's very important. But I also got to share this as well. Unfortunately, as has been mentioned, there's been over 500 homicides in the city of Philadelphia, almost 500 last year. And a big part of my work is I go to a lot of these vigils, and you've all seen the vigils. We go to the vigils, oftentimes, Channel 3 is there, Channel 6 is there, 10, 29, they're all there. And we all see the balloons, and usually it's the mom or grandma, maybe it's dad as well, family members are all on the porch. People say a few words, they got chairs in the middle of the street. Then they release the balloons and the event's over. But as I go to these events, it never fails that on the periphery of the gathering, there's always a number of young men. And I always watch these young men. Some of them are on their bikes, some of them are by themselves. These are the friends of whoever was killed. These are the cousins of whoever was killed. These are the brothers, the nephews of whoever was killed. And they have this face. It's a very blank face. Some of it is hopelessness. Some of it is feeling defeated. Some of it is being stressed out. Some of it is, I want to retaliate tonight. And I always go to those young men first to give them my card and say, yo, I see you. In this moment, I see you. Feel free to call me, email me, anytime. Some of them are like, all right, go ahead. Some of them might not say anything at all. Some of them might not make it back to me the next day, the next week. But it'll be like 6 weeks or 2 months later, I'll get a random phone call or email. Yo, is this Mr. Brian? Yeah, it's me. What's up? Yeah, who's this? Hey, man, you came out to the vigil, you know what I mean, a couple months back. I just want to let you know I wanted to, you know what I mean, talk to somebody real quick. What does that mean? That means that our young people want to be seen. Even as they're dealing with the grips of trauma, not being able to cope, they've worked out all the way they can. They played the game all that they could. They've slept all that they could. They blew an L all that they could. They've drank all that they could. That pain is still there. And so, as I close, I want to leave you with 3 ideas. One is patience. It's going to take patience to deal with all of our community members. And that includes our women and girls as well, as we see in the news. It's going to take patience for us to move forward. It's going to take patience to identify the right organization that might best suit your young person, right? Every young person isn't into hip-hop. Every young person isn't into sports. Every young person isn't into poetry. So we may need to find and take a little bit of patience to figure out what best suits that child. And more importantly, have them tell you. You don't force it on them. Secondly, communication. You know, I heard a lot of parents and guardians tell me, well, Mr. K, Mr. Brian, I try talking to my son, he just, and my daughter, she just don't get back to me. I said, what time do you talk to them? Or when they get home from school? I said, maybe that's not the best time that they want to talk. See, everybody wants to talk when they're ready to, even as adults, right? Maybe the best time that she or he wants to talk is on the weekend. In the morning, when you're putting up the house in the kitchen and cooking up breakfast. Maybe that's the best time. In fact, better still, maybe Sunday's the best time when Jack came home from church. Matter of fact, better still, maybe the best time to talk to them is when they came home from Juma on Friday. In other words, trial and error will figure out the best time to talk. More importantly, it may not be you that they'll put talking to. And we gotta sit with that. We gotta take the ego out of it and say, you know what? Maybe my brother, his uncle, is better suited right now. It's seasonal, it's temporary. But maybe his uncle, my brother, is the better person, is the best required and best appropriate to talk to him right now. And I can follow on the back end. And let that be okay. I know sometimes it hurts, because we don't work these children, right? But let that be okay in a temporary sense, because at the end of the day, we want them to be healed. And lastly, before I pass it on, is to embrace what's uncomfortable. See, we can't run away from the challenging conversation. There's a lot of things that our young people that are experiencing that for some of us, it blows our mind. What they've seen, experienced, and heard, and been a part of. But we must, if we're going to get ourselves out of this madness that some of us understand that it's chaos, we have to embrace the idea that some of this stuff is going to make us feel sick. It's going to make us feel what in the world is going on, and have those ideas, but embrace it, internalize it, and say, you know what? That's my feeling. If he or she or they is able to articulate that to me, let me console that, and let me be the adult in the moment, and then figure out and just listen, and be an active listener, and figure out how then we can go take that story or that idea and take it to the next level, up from there. But embrace what makes us feel icky. Embrace what makes us feel, whoa, they did that in my day. Embrace that. Because guess what? It ain't your day. As I close, we have materials here, services. There are tons of programs that Fremont supports, that our system supports, that are right here on this table. We have our behavior health screeners. We are very at the department trying to be out in communities, be it at schools, rec centers, or what have you. Please utilize them. Please let us know. And just as a final thought, the main boards that I'm working with of late.
Hello, Murrell Dobbins family. I was really hoping to get to see more parents, see all the parents that way. Thank you for coming out. And I thank you for everybody else, because I need some resources here as well. So, my name is Murrell Dobbins. I am the mobile therapist for IDHS from Resources for Human Development, RHD. It sounds like a bunch of alphabets. I'm just alphabet. All in all, what we offer here is mental health services for the students to be able to receive therapy, whether that be individual or group therapy, on school campus rather than having to go to outpatient. What's new about this is in the advent of COVID, we also transitioned from behavioral health or TSS or the old model, which we knew it, into the IDHS, which is Intensive Behavioral Health Services. And also in that, we're offering it in high schools. So RHD services schools in North and Northwest area, and we're in high schools now. We have never been in high schools before. So, I really wanted parents here because I wanted to ask this question as, do people know what the benefit of therapy is? And I just say that culturally because as a culture, we're not raised to believe it.
therapy or see the benefit of therapy or tell people our business and this, that, and the other. And that is part of what disconnects us. I do believe it takes a village to raise a child. I'm kind of overwhelmed. I did not want to be up there. I really didn't, because I just didn't. But I think a good starting point is here with us who are in the room. It's important for people to know not only what it is, what you do, but also who you are. And I'm a student that was kicked out of Dobbins because of who I was. And it was the Dobbins staff way back then that set me on the trajectory to say, oh, you can't do that here. We're going to get you some help that you need. They put me in a program. I got my GED when I was 16 and I was well on my course. It's that route that brought me back to, at some point, you got to listen to somebody. But at another point, somebody got to stop long enough to listen to what you have to say. It took me until I was 28 years old before I stopped and thought about some of those things I heard and finally accepted some therapy. But I need to say it was after having special needs children, DHS in my life, being arrested, getting out of jail, nonsense. I got kicked out of the projects in Philly for being a bad influence on the projects. To come back down, to be a mother of 12, a grandmother of 37, a professional without a record, who believes in what it is. I'm emotional and having lost a son. Being back at Dobbins, this guy just got jokes. We're going to go back and help instead of hurt. And that's what our therapy is about. I say that personally, not as RHD employee, just as me, so that the school knows who I am. That can't always be disclosed to the students and all that kind of stuff, but we grown-ups here. And people come into their professions and their passions for a reason. And I just want y'all to know what my reason was, that I am here. This opportunity came to me and I said, God, you got jokes, so I'm back. So what I hope to do is work with children at their level of pain, at what it is that they're willing to disclose to me, not to change them, but to build the skills that they will need in order to survive and not just hold on to that pain. To live after the pain and know that there's something more than just that. And to know all this distrust we have, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing and all that other stuff, that is the community. That once you can disclose who it is you are, hold your head up and do the best that you can do, bright futures arise. We partner with Dobbins that's ensuring that these kids have an opportunity for a bright future. I hope to work with some of the parents, because part of what it is that we do is a family component as well. And I would love to help work with parents so that they understand the benefit of therapy, a private place to go at a scheduled and structured time, because life is epic. To know I got a certain place that I'm going to shut a door and talk about all the things I need to talk about and come out of it ready for what's coming next. So, I held on to the mic too long. I'm going to pass it on.
Next, I'd like to introduce Ms. Bayetta from Healthy Philly Lions.
Good afternoon, Dobbins family. Thank you for allowing us to be here. And no, I don't think she held onto the mic too long. I feel she had a message to say and appreciative that it was said. And sometimes, we need to be still, and sometimes we need to really bend down here and listen. So thank you to everyone that has shared. I know my day was spent, and I was listening, and I really put the information that you shared with me, and I will take it and pass it on, which is something that typically we don't do. We usually get some information, we hold on to it, and nobody else knows about it So I am from DBH IDS. I am in the Health Promotion Department, and Healthy Minds Philly is our tagline. And I'm here with my colleague, Victor, over there. So what we do at Healthy Minds Philly is we seek to empower and educate all citizens in Philadelphia on their behavioral health. We seek to give them resources, to supports that they may need in navigating their behavioral health. We want to increase their awareness. We want to make you talking about your behavioral and mental health as natural as it is for you talking about your physical health. We have no problem in saying, oh, my knee hurt today, I can't move right, or I got a headache. But sometimes we have a problem because there's such a stigma attached to saying, I feel so bad, I can't get out of bed today. I don't know what's wrong. I'm not eating. I don't want to be around people. Or this person has me so stressed out, or this situation has me so stressed out, I don't know what to do. So we seek to give you some resources and supports to help you navigate that, to help you know, what I'm feeling is anxiety. Okay, now what can I do about my anxiety? I want to preface that by saying a little anxiety is good, right? Because it helps us know that something is off. And it helps us to understand that maybe you need to do something. But when your anxiety is such that it has you to, it almost shuts you down, that's a time where you may want to seek to do something different. Or when you're feeling off, you want to try something different. And sometimes you just don't know what to try or what to do. It may be something as practicing breathing or doing some meditations. It doesn't have to cost you much. Or taking a walk outside, or doing some yoga. I know I'm copping the tape at home, and I do meditations at home, and I do yoga at home. I don't have the money to pay to go to a yoga class, to go sit, to do the same thing I could do in the comfort of my home, you know? But do identify some things that help you cope. And if those things aren't working, then be brave enough to say, I need some supports. Here at Dobbins, you have RHD. If your children are in need of supports, where you can go. Healthy Minds Philly can give you some tools if you need some supports to tell you where you can go. We also offer mental health first aid, which is a 3-year free certification training that is offered to anyone 18 and older who lives, works, or resides in the city of Philadelphia. Now what that training will do, it will help educate you, empower you, and give you some skills to deal with anyone who may be experiencing a behavioral health crisis. I want to say that again. It will help educate you, empower you, and give you some skills to help with someone who may be experiencing a behavioral health crisis. We also offer what we call a checkup for the neck, which is a free, anonymous behavioral health screening to help gauge where you are. If your anxiety is here, and your child or whomever you are residing with comes to you with something, if your anxiety is here and they come to you and their anxiety is here, you're going at each other. Nobody's hearing each other. So a checkup on the neck will give you some recommendations on where you are in your behavioral health and see if there are some supports that which you may want to follow up on. Again, Victor and I are really at that table and we can answer any questions that you may have, but we would like you to check out healthymindsphilly.org. On that website, there are a wealth of resources that you can follow up on, connections to community behavioral health, and some of the other programs that we offer at Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disabilities. And again, I thank you so much for allowing us to be here, and I thank everybody that has spoken about what they can provide us with.
Again, I want to thank our panelists again. This is just the beginning of Bridging the Gap. I'm going to bring back up Principal Thompson. She has a few questions from parents, which we will be asking the panelists for some feedback.
to partner with us together or try to get professionally developed together. Panelists, I believe that you had answered or given us an insight to all of the challenges that the school as well as parents are dealing with or facing throughout since the beginning of the school year. And one of them was, or is, identity crisis within our students. So we have a lot of students who reputation needs or felt that needs to be protected, right? When they get challenged or looked upon in a different light in front of their peers, they feel as though that they need to raise themselves up or rise up to a point that they need to respond negatively. They also have identity crisis where it comes to relationships, whether it be with their same-sex friends or an intimate type of relationship. Sex education is another identity crisis. They don't see the value in that. I believe that amongst the panelists you discussed, certain ways that they can be able to be educated and kind of sift through how they can face this or deal with these crises. We do know that parents do not know how to address these concerns with their students. So parents, I'm asking that you will definitely reach out to the school so that we can connect you to one of the panelists so that we can be professionally developed in how to approach this differently. Another needs that we were challenged with was academic achievement. We have students that do not come to school. We have students that come tardy, that believe that they can come to school anytime that they want to. We have students who challenge the decision between whether I should come to school or whether I should work because I am trying to be self-sufficient. And we also have students who have special educational needs that really needs to be balanced of how they transition from a middle school to a high school. And I know that one of the panelists had mentioned how we used to have TSS services and no longer we had those in high schools, but now these supports look a little different, but yet they still exist. So parents need to understand or be professionally developed or educated what is the transition and how do we transition or what resources are there to transitioning, because what they used to look like doesn't look the same. And therefore, and then guess what? The students aren't the same age or need to have the same needs as it was. So, again, we do recognize the presence of students, of parents' educational advocacy, but yet we both need to be professionally developed and say, what does these new resources look like? How are they now offered opposed to what it was before? Because this is a time that is new to all of us. And I believe, again, that all of the panelists have reached or had acknowledged some point that we can address academic achievement. Another one was community building. We're not working together. I do understand, I read an article and it was called Mother Work. Mother Work is taking, for example, a statistic like myself, a single parent, with 2 high school children, raising, just single parent, and understanding the barriers of the systems, the marginalized systemic systems that are in this world that like holding us back a little bit. They charge me more for my home. I gotta worry about my black son as he rides his bike through the neighborhood. I have to worry about whether or not his daddy is going to provide or give, support to whatever that he needs. So that pressure is on me. And then on top of that, when I go into the schools, I see white faces or teachers who really don't care to teach or give a quality education. So I'm on a defense. And my defense is taken as being negative, but it's not. I'm really advocating for who I need to make sure that I know this education is going to build the identity of my child. So sometimes, or most of the time, we get parents that come in and just ready to argue or ready to fight, and now are on the defense, and now there's a disconnect because I don't understand the motherhood of a single black mother who are raising black young children in the world that we are living in today. And I do want to let our parents know that Dobbins understand, but Dobbins still going to hold fast on education. Dobbins is still going to hold fast on professional development. Dobbins is still going to hold fast on having the supports and resources and not doing the work alone. So this is why I asked that you would sit there and share your story. So now every panelist told their personal story. We did not highlight just the organization. We highlight ourselves and let you know that we're still human. We still live in the same world that you live in. We are raising thousands of kids here every day. So please do not think that we do not care or have the concern or the passion to give your child a quality education. We are transparent enough to know that where we can draw the line and say, guess what? I cannot go any further, but I can partner with somebody else or tag team with another organization that can get us to the results that we need to get. So that would lead me up to our conflict resolution. We have a bunch of fights that are happening, and a lot of times parents believe that we don't care or we have these negative, unruly students in here, but everyone cares about their child. Everyone would care about making sure that their child is safe. So just to come in and not want to mediate or just to talk to another parent or to see what supports are working and what are not and where we can actually fill in. So we cannot just jump off into a negative or feel, opposition against one another. Because as you've heard, we all have our real stories. We all live, again, in this society together. We all look alike, right? We all have advocates and allies, regardless of the color or the race, of the religion. But if we can learn how to team together and utilize the resources that Dobbins has brought to you today, then I guarantee you that we can really focus on what the school or educational institution is all about. And that's just preparing your child to be college and career ready. We're here to build up an academic identity, a sort of professionalism that they can be able to be self-sustained, that they can have a multiple stream of income. That's what Dobbins can offer. We just don't offer a diploma. Students are graduating here with college credits, with industry-related certifications. Entrepreneurship. Next week we're having a pop-up shop with all of our student entrepreneurs. They already have their logos. They have their businesses already running. They have their Instagram already up. And guess what? Dobbins is going to support them. In the midst of them getting ready to go to college. Many of my students will be leaving here starting a second career. That's what we do here at Dobbins, and that is our focus, and I do not want us to lose sight of that, and I want us to grow so everyone can learn it. So I want to just say thank you, panelists. Thank you for always being readily available for us. Thank you that you would just be there and be transparent to our parents. And hopefully, parents, you would grab this and you would take advantage of it, just as we're trying to send that same message to your student. Take advantage of what Dobbins is offering. Thank you all.